Welcome to this conversation of the Morning Tea Marketing Misses. The purpose of us getting together, having these conversations, is to offer valuable tips to business owners and sole traders to improve their online presence and communicate more effectively to reach a larger audience. Our topic of conversation for this whole month is all about productivity, and maybe product ideas and getting things out to the marketplace. So we have Narelle Gaddy, and Narelle is an accredited accessibility auditor. I have Kate Smith. Kate is a graphic designer, and Jan Roche, business is BizConnect and over 50s health. I am Janine Vosper, and I help people in leadership roles to remove limiting beliefs. What I'm going to be talking about today is my method of developing training programs. And I've been using this method for many, many years and what I find, it helps get everything that's stuck up here out, and then you can clarify it. And not only do you often come up with one training program, but you come up with multiple training programs. Works particularly well when people are starting out in they've been possibly working for somebody for quite a while, and now they're moving into their own business and their own field of, I've got all this knowledge to be able to deliver training programs. And often they've worked for a company or a business that's supplied them with the training programs, and now it's something that they have to come up with themselves. And it's a post-it note brain dump. For me personally, when some people use mind maps, but I find that takes too much concentration and too much thought into it. Whereas when you do a post-it note dump, you just come up with any single idea that you have, that you've done training in, or people have learned something from you, anyone's made a comment ever. Every single thing that you think that you know about the topic that you want to deliver, you write it on post-it notes. And I use a glass door. I just keep slamming these post-it notes on a glass door. Don't think about it. Don't question your ideas. Nothing is wrong. You'll find you might start going down one tangent. Great, and you have all these different ideas come up. Because for me, I am a speaker trainer. I help people put their presentations together. I'm a sales coach. I help people LinkedIn profiles, and I do time management and everything that comes under those umbrellas. So you can imagine there's just a whole lot of ideas going on in my head. I found this was a great way to clarify. The thing after you've got 50 of these post-it notes up on a wall is you start chunking them. You find what is the common thread for some of the notes. So for me, those 5 topics that I put it under, then I might put under sales, training, speaking, planning, LinkedIn, and the presentation. So I might put those 5 headings, and then all the post-it notes that I find, I pop under each one of those headings. And then I'll look at the sales training and go, oh, there's ideas on pitching here. There's space on how to follow up. So then I can break down all of that, and instead of just maybe something exactly how I wrote my book is to grab all the different components of it, but each one of those components could be 6 different training sessions, or different webinars, or different blogs. You pull all of those apart with those, again, under that one category. And then you work through the rest of them. You will be amazed at what clarity it gives you, and then the opportunity on how to develop a product, a service or product from that, a training product that fits, that is very congruent. It follows, you'll be able to figure out how you can follow the plan of that training, but you've got all of your information and ideas out. But chunking them and putting them into categories is the trick with that as well. It's worked for me. I've done this over and over and over again. And even it's not just starting out. I did it all when I first started out, but I do this quite regularly when I'm developing a new program. So I developed the branding program. So I figured out, again, I went and did exactly the same thing with that. So it's a really good tip.
That's a great idea. Also just what you said about don't judge it, don't think about it, just write it all down, because the idea that's not so good might lead into the idea that's brilliant. And if you block yourself because that idea isn't perfect, then you miss the one coming after it. So yeah, I love the brain dump.
And the other thing, I mentioned blog. This is a great way to get ideas for blogs, is to do exactly the same thing, and maybe follow a theme for a month or change it up for the next one. Sorry, Jan, I interrupted.
No, look, that's okay. That last point that you made is exactly what we do, like with articles. Obviously we do the keyword and competition research first that produces the topics to create the articles, but then we follow through looking at analytics. We analyze what's happened, tracking the keywords that we're looking at, and then from there we can make decisions as to what we do with further articles. We could start with one main topic, but from there you can branch off into many different subtopics that just expand on that same topic, and it's just brilliant.
Yeah, thank you. And now that we have AI as well, which means that we've got the theme or the topic or the idea, and then we can get some content and some base content for it that we can edit and adapt it as ours, but it's still really valuable content on that particular subject that we've dumped out. I've done, and it's easy to get 50 post-it notes. It really is, just to.
And it's interesting.
That makes sense for some people.
Yeah, but in the IT area, I remember when we went from what do we call it? We call it the waterfall method. Was the method we learned on how to do a project. We had steps to follow and everything else, and then they changed it. I can't think of what it is, but yeah, basically it's another type of methodology, and basically part of it is just that. It's putting the ideas out there, because as you said, Kate, there'll be that one idea that leads to another, and that's how you lead to a great product out in the IT world, a great app or a great website or whatever you're doing.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I like the post-it note idea too, because if you're kind of scribbling in a notebook, you sometimes run out of space, or you want to, like you said, chunk them into groups, and you're like, oh, I just want all this up here. Now I have to write it all out again. But you get all your post-it notes, you sort them out how you want. You can take a photo, done.
Yeah, everyone's got a glass door that can work well on. And it is expanded out as far as you can. And again, another thing that I really want to encourage people to do sometimes is walk away from ideas when you're trying to create a product, is to walk away from it.
Yes.
And I mean, I seek outside conversation and follow up with clients or with peers onto ideas for things. And it's still, when it's not clear, I find if I walk away from it, go on holidays sometimes. That's how I got the branding program. Went, everything I do is under a personal brand authority. Let's just go with that. But I needed to be away on holidays to just be out of that space.
Get the perspective. I do that with every project. I'll kind of hash out the base of whatever design I'm doing, and then I always leave at least a couple of days to just go away, forget about it, come back, look at it with fresh eyes and go, oh, there's a glaring, maybe not error, but something that can be vastly improved. But you don't see it.
That before?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I've changed complete projects. Like I spent like 3 hours doing it this way. I come back with fresh eyes, have a look, and take an hour to do a much more brilliant job. But it's just part of the process, and it's how it is.
Yeah.
And we need to do that. And also we need to, with product development, we need to update things as well. I know I ran a sales webinar the other night, and just going through, I've run this particular webinar for probably about 6 years, but every time I go to do it, I update it. There's some changes made on it every single time, because to look fresher, two, there's new ideas that have come in, there's something that's popped in my head that I've thought that's really important that has to be added, whatever it is. But it's part of developing products, is that continual development of the product as well.
Yeah. Agree.
So hopefully that's helpful for people who are thinking about how am I going to develop a product? It doesn't have to be a training service, as I've mentioned. It can be whatever that product is, but that's just one method that I use. And as we talked about other methods, I think it's really important to do that.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Cool. That's another episode of the Morning Tea Marketing Missus. Remember to follow us on our YouTube channel and like and comment. We really love your feedback and the things that you have learned along the way. So it's bye from me.
Bye from Janine.
Oh, it's so good when we do these. I love this, ladies. We haven't gone yet. This is all part of it. But every time we looking for a photo for our YouTube, we're all laughing and smiling. It's really easy to find that particular photo. It's great. Everyone have a great week. We'll talk again next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.